Hello there. In this video we're going to show you how you can make your own personalised ring with a 5mm gem and a tension setting, but it's going to be personalised in this sense that we're going to put some letters, and in this case the letter M, in the ring to support the gem as shown in the picture there. So if you start Fluid Designer, the first thing you want to do is to go to the rings folder. Well, we're already there at the moment. And we're looking for this object. It's all UK ring sizes with a single loop around it, and if we just drag and drop that onto the workspace, now what we're going to do is we're going to add a gem just to sort of size things up against, and we're going to add a round gem. So this object here we're going to append from gem shapes, and we're also going to use a Harrington font, and we're going to use this letter here, letter M, which again we're going to append. So first of all I'll go to File and Append, and if you just go up through the menu system until you get to Groups, this gives you the Fluid Designer groups that are available and the patterns. And we're looking for gem shapes first of all, and we're going to do a round gem, and we select the object as usual, and it's a round object in this case, so we're going to use that gem, and I've just clicked on the gem to highlight it. Now at the moment the default gem is always 10mm, so I'm just going to well, I'll just switch on the screencast keys. I'm just going to scale this, so if I press S on the keyboard, and I'm just going to make it half size, so 0.5. And I don't really need to apply the scale to this because I'm not going to print it, but I will do anyway. Okay, so I'm going to put that gem there for the moment, and what we're going to do is we're going to put some characters M on either side of the gem to act as the support. So we're going to use Harrington font for that, so we're going to go to File and Append again, just go up through the menu system until you get to the Groups folder. We're going to do alphabet Harrington font, and we're going to use the letter M here, and as usual it's the object that we want, so it's Harrington font M object, and we need to append it from the library. So there's our letter M. Now we're going to make 2 copies of this, but before we do that we're going to scale this object down as well. Now this is in fact a curve. As we can see here from this icon, it's a curve, this object, and we also got the curve icon over in the properties window. So if we do S to scale this, and again I'm going to do it at 0.5 and then enter, we must apply the scale for this object because this object is going to be printed. So Control A and apply the scale, and you can see what happens. The M bulks up a little bit. So where we're going to position this? Well, first of all it's got to be just above the curve there, and notice that I am actually going to stick to the default ring size here. I haven't changed my ring size in this lesson. I'm going to stick to the default. So there's an M. Now we could rotate this by using the keyboard, or I can just use the panel over here, the properties window. So I want to rotate it, I'll rotate it that way first of all, so it's the y-axis, and I'm going to type in the 90 here. Okay, so looking at it from the right hand side, we've got the letter M there. I'll just view it from the top again, and so I'll just drag that out and position it there for the moment. Now I want to make a second copy of this on the left hand side to act as a kind of prong, and I can create a second copy just by going to Tools, Object Tools, and duplicate that object, and then if I just move the mouse I can just position it over there. Now this one is now in fact back to front, this M, compared to the other one, so I need to rotate it. Now we were rotating it about the y-axis, so instead of 90 I actually need another 180 degrees, so I end up with 270 degrees altogether, and if I look at it now you can see that that M is the right way round. Okay, now if I just view it from the top, alright, so we'll leave it there for the moment. Now if we look at the ring itself, you can see that it's not really wide enough to fully support this M. So I'm going to change the ring width, and we can do that by highlighting the ring, and then if we go to curve data information, it's the bevel object we want to change. At the moment it's 1.5 millimeters by 1.5 millimeters. So in other words, 1.5 there and 1.5 there. So we want to change this thickness. So let's just have a look. What have we got? 1.5. So let's try 5 millimeters. Okay, well that's not bad. So you can see it's actually touching all three parts of this M now, which is really what we want it to do. Okay, and so obviously it's going to be symmetrical. It's going to be the same at the other side. Yeah, so that's quite good. Now we could perhaps lower the two M's a little bit so that they're in contact more with the ring itself. So if I just go to view and top view, and if I click on this left one here, now at the moment the snap is on, so if I drag this, as you can see, it's going to go more than 1 millimeter down, and even zooming in I can't get a different grid there. So in this instance I'm going to have to use the main information panel here and the location of it. So if I look at this, if I drag this down, if you look in the main information panel, the location is changing from 11 millimeters, which is there, to 10 millimeters there. That's basically the height from the center. So that's 11 millimeters, that's 10 millimeters. So we want somewhere in between. So if we click in this box here, if we 10.5 mm for millimeters, that's taken it down a little bit too low. So let's try 10.6 millimeters. That's okay. That's going to give us some clearance there. So we clearly need to do the same to the other item there, the other M, 10.6 millimeters. So that will give us the same clearance. Okay, so that's all right, but the only thing we've got now is that it's overlapping the gem too much. As you can see, there's a lot of overlap for the gem there. So we can afford to move these prongs out a little bit. So in this instance, with this particular prong, I want to move it to the right. So in the X direction. So at the moment it's 3, and again if I click there, that's going to be too much. So let's try 3.3 millimeters and see how that looks. Probably go a bit more, 3.4 millimeters. Oops. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. So if we select the one on the other side, now that's minus 3 millimeters, so we should be able to go to minus 3.4 millimeters to adjust it the same. So if we position the ring now, if we position the gem now, you can see that it fits in there okay. Now one of the things about the letter M is if you look in here, there's a kind of natural gap in the M there, and if I just lower this down, you can see if I switch the snap off and I'm just dragging the y-axis, the gem kind of fits into that position there more or less naturally. So I'm not going to do a boolean on this one. I'm just going to assume that in real life, if you get this object made, you would use a grinding wheel to just grind out the extra little space there that you need, if you need any, when it's printed. Okay, so I'll just switch the snap back on there. So we now need to join all these objects together. Well, the gem itself we don't need, so I can press X on the keyboard and delete that. These two objects we can join them together, and we don't want to join them to the ring at the moment, because if we do that they'll take on the properties of the ring and the thicknesses will be all wrong. So what we need to do is to convert those to a mesh, highlight the ring itself, convert the ring to a mesh, and then highlight the M's, the prongs, hold down the shift key and highlight the ring, and go to Tools, Object Tools, and join them together. So the prongs are now connected to the shank of the ring, and there is our personalised ring with two M characters, Harrington font M's, acting as the kind of prongs for attention setting. Now, as is usual in Fluid Designer, we don't want to go to File and Save, we want to go to File and Export. And we want to export this as a wavefront object, and we export it to the desktop. So it's a single ring, and it's tension setting and times 2 M fonts, Harrington fonts. So that's just the name I can give it. So export that object to the desktop, and then as normal you'd have to take this to Netfab Basic, which will just do some minor repairs to it, and then you've got your 3D printable file. I'll just let that save. Should be okay. There we are. Okay, so that's how you can use Harrington fonts in this case as prongs, to act as prongs in a tension ring. That's it. Thank you.